Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, and welcome to Arduino EDUvision Season 1 last episode 9. Can you believe this is our final episode for this season?
I cannot.
No, it's
We
been
will
really
be
quick.
back
It was so
after the
fast.
summer.
Yes.
So after the summer, we'll be back with the second season.
With
And
more things.
for you who have not seen us before, we can do a little quick recap of ourselves. I'm Therese. I work here at Arduino in Sweden with educational support. And with me, I have...
Which one goes first? I can do it first. We're really bad at this pointing.
Yeah, it's like...
Hi. Hi, I'm Melissa. I come from Finland. I also work at Arduino, and I work in the content team, mostly with the educational kits and content for the EduKits, and for example, with the videos that we've been now creating for the Starter Kit.
Nice. And I'm Roxana. I'm from Mexico, and I work with our educational partners online on-site training here at Arduino. So hello, everyone, and thank you for joining today.
Also, let us know where you guys are from. So use the chat here on YouTube and Facebook to let us know if you're a student or a teacher, what you're teaching, and which country you're from, so that we know where our user base is from and where our viewers are from.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have a lot of viewers from all over the world, so it's always nice to know where you
also,
are when you're looking.
You're teaching, that's also nice to know. Oh, we usually tell a little fact about ourselves during these live shows every time, me, Melissa, and Rox. So maybe this time we can say what is our favorite Starter Kit project? Because we've been filming these tutorials, if you didn't know, every week, and we've been posting it on our YouTube channel. So Melissa and Rox, which were your favorites projects so far?
Rox, you can start.
Thanks. I really like the one with the crystal ball, the one with the LCD screen, because you can write like cool messages, cool stuff, and share that. So I really like that part about the messaging. And actually, we have some projects about that, like some episodes ago.
Yes, yeah, and I think I like the mute cue, the one where you have to turn the potentiometer, and then the servo turns, and you can have whatever you want in paper to show. I created the one with the smiley faces, so you can kind of show how you're feeling at the moment, for example. But I also like the project because it's kind of simple to do, but then you can vary it for different purposes. And then also I think that some kids have done it and they like it, so they can express like how they're feeling at the moment. So for that, it's been really nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's like mine was probably the knock lock, because it was such a challenge. If you haven't done this project, it's a project where you make a secret box and you knock on it in order for it to unlock with a servo. It was pretty tricky, but it was really fun. So I think we will release the tutorial for that in a few weeks. So
yeah,
keep your eyes open in our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the next week's project.
Exactly.
Yeah, they can build it and then they can tell us how they think it is, like hard, difficult, fun. So we want to hear from you.
Exactly. So we're seeing that there are a lot of students here, but also some teachers. If this is the first time you're watching, we can tell you that this is Arduino EDUvision, a show that we have made for educators and parents, but also students, to support you teaching and learning from home, especially using Arduino. Learn programming, electronics, arts, STEAM subjects. So exactly. So maybe if we can we can tell you about our special guests, Rox.
Of course. So today, our special guest is Anthony Jacques. He's from Belgium, and he is a teacher, a trained teacher, but he also works at Technobel, which is a digital training center of excellence. So there he trains other teachers on how to use the technology. They have like a maker space there. So it's really interesting what they are doing there with Arduino. And we share some projects, and Melissa will interview him in a few minutes. So don't miss it out.
Yeah. And if you have any questions or comments for Anthony, please share them using the comment section of the chat on YouTube or Facebook. Both work.
Exactly. It will be super interesting to know about what they're doing there.
Definitely. And after the interview, we will show some results. Better?
Exactly. If you were a part of the previous week's episode, we had a little voting where you guys who were watching could vote for two things. Mainly, one was what you wanted to see in this last episode, and the other was what you liked the most about the season overall. So tune in to see the results. And of course, whatever wins the poll for what we're going to do this time, we will also show you that.
I cannot wait to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, we will also have the quiz. So get your phones ready for the quiz later today.
Yes. So be
Last
prepared.
quiz.
1 hour, a lot of things.
Yeah, we have a lot of things today.
But should we start with our interview?
I think it's
Let's
time.
do that.
Yes. Thank you. So today's guest is Anthony Jacques, as Rox mentioned. He's a qualified elementary teacher and a teacher trainer at Technobel, which is a digital training center of excellence. And on our remote learning site, arduino.cc/remote learning, we have published an article yesterday where Anthony tells us how they support learners throughout their training, how they use Arduino, and why he believes that learning programming is important. So let me welcome Anthony.
Yes.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for that nice intro. That was really nice.
Oh, thank you for joining. It's great to have you here. And I read the article on our remote learning site. I'm actually really excited to have this interview with you. You had some interesting comments there.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really pleased to be able to share that with everyone there. So it's great.
Yes. And now, people who are watching, remember that you can add the questions and comments at any point of this interview using the chat on YouTube or Facebook. But it would be nice to, if there's some educators, it would be nice to hear about your experience too. But now, Anthony, we have some viewers who maybe haven't seen yet the article on our remote learning site. So could you tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Anthony. I'm from Belgium. Here in Belgium, I work for Technobel. Technobel is a training center for a few publics. In fact, we have three. In general, we have unemployed people. That's one of our publics. They come to us and we train them to develop new skills and to be able to go into new jobs that are related to the ICT fields, of course. We have enterprise. They come to us for our expertise. And I work in the third field. That's my preferred one, of course. And that is teachers. So we train teachers to use new technologies in their classroom. And we do that on a daily basis. So that's my role here, knowing that at the beginning, I was an elementary teacher as well. But I started right away with Technobel when I finished my studies. So that was my goal, to be a teacher trainer with technology, because I knew I had this love for new technologies and I wanted to share it with teachers so that they knew how they could empower the students with technologies. That was my goal.
Okay, interesting. So you had a kind of different path maybe, but you were working with Technobel or what you mentioned, and then you had like the elementary, your elementary teacher. But have you been working with in an elementary school, for example, or
I
been
started
working
straight away with Technobel.
that's cool.
When I handed my studies, when I was graduated, I started working with them because they were looking for somebody who has that kind of profile. That is really such a not unusual profile, I will say, but they were looking for it, and I'm really happy I crossed that path a few years ago.
Yeah, and you already mentioned you're a teacher trainer, and you're teaching them how to use different technologies in a classroom. But can you explain a bit more? Like, what do you actually teach them? What do you have in your training?
Well, we have a lot of different things. Maybe the main thing we teach is coding and robotics, because that is a subject that is more and more popular. And we are really about giving everyone the tools they need to know how to code, because we really think it's important in our society today to learn and to at least understand what's happening around there. Like I said in the interview we've had before, we teach kids about Poulet and forces, for example, but never try to teach them about code, or at least it's not well developed for the moment. So that was crucial for us to have kids and people in general understanding what is coding and why is it important. So with what we do here, we do a lot of robotics, of codings, but also we have 3D printings. We have a lot of projects. We have electronics, of course. That is why we are here today. That's because Arduino is at the cross all those paths. I was looking for what I will say, but you guys at Arduino, you do code, you do electronics, and you do all that with an amazing product. So that's why we love that one. So yeah, we really have a lot of things. We do media creation as well. We film, we shoot, we just use the power of technologies to do cool things in classrooms. That's what we do.
Okay, and you have these trainings for teachers, but also for students?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then what kind of teacher comes to your training or class? Is it always a technology teacher?
No, and that's what I love what I'm doing. It's only about passionate teacher, but we have projects that's help teachers that are not technologies teachers to start with technologies in their class anyway. And that is really important for us to show that everybody can succeed. And I am not, for my personal part, I am not an engineer or coding expert. Like I wasn't graduated in that matter. So I am a teacher, a normal teacher, just passionate about what I do. So teachers that comes to us just want to start fun projects in their classroom, and they soon realize when they are with us that we are doing really a lot of projects that involve languages, mathematics, logical skills, and that is not only about technologies. And that is really important for us as well, because technologies is never the main goal. It's just a way to get to your points and to get to what you want to develop with kids. That is important for us to say. You just use technology because those technologies helps you creating a learning environment that is stimulating for everyone. That is what we do. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's a more tool to learn other subjects than the actual technology itself only. Yeah. And then, like you said that you have passionate teachers, but are they always eager to implement technology in their classroom, or sometimes do you need to convince them that this is actually important?
We have a few cases. In most of the case, they come to us with an envy to start with technologies, or they are already doing technologies and they want to go further. But sometimes we also have whole teams or teachers that were brought by their direction or by their colleagues, and then we have to start sending them messages and tell them it will be okay. So one of my role, I really put a focus on that. I think one of my role is to reassure the teachers that work with us. I think one of my role is to tell them everything will be all right. You don't need super extra skills, because in some cases, like you at Arduino EDUvision, you have really great resources. You have a community, you have people around that can help get started. That is really important for teachers to understand. So yes, sometimes I need to convince people that it will be all right and it will be useful in their classroom. It doesn't always work, but most of the time when they go out from Tech2Bell, they are really convinced, I think.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I think it's like you said, it's important to, like, you don't have to be an expert to teach technology or have technology in your classroom. It's okay to troubleshoot together with your students or look for information from internet and those kind of things. So, and use other resources. That's there's a question from the audience. If you want to check for you, there's without dedicated blocks in a school schedule, what's the best way to integrate coding, robotics, electronics, and other tech in the curriculum? And you already mentioned it, like it's kind of a tool to teach other subjects.
Yeah, I think the key part of integrating technologies in a classroom without having dedicated blocks schedules is to build projects, and those projects will be fed by the technologies environment we have. Because like you have Arduino, for example, you can do a lot of things with those board just by going into project mode in a classroom. So I think what is important is to have projects and to show everyone around. That means the parents, that means your colleague as well, that what you are doing is actually what you are doing usually. You're just adding an extra layer to that makes kids more excited. So I think the best part is do some projects. That couldn't be a project for the schools, maybe I don't know, connected area to build to have flowers, for example. So that could be a lead. That could also be like some competition, for example. There are a lot of great competition all around the globe, virtually or in real life, that need students to build something, to make something with technologies. And I think those competition are really a great way to get started with technologies and to make projects in your classroom, even without having technologies period in your schedule.
Yeah, I agree. And that in the article on our remote learning site, you mentioned also this be a maker philosophy.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain that?
Yeah, the be a maker philosophy is all I said before. That's the summarize of that. That is at Technobel, what we started with a few years ago is that we realized we did not wanted our students to just listen to a teachers for a whole day and just do nothing. We wanted them to do something, actually, to build, to prototype, to take the skills they were developing with us into some project, because we think those projects helps them focus better, understand better, because when you do some project you have to be sure you understood well what we taught you. So we developed that be a maker philosophy because we wanted everyone involved in Technobel to do things, basically. So we do that as a team as well. That means we are prototyping like really often. When we can prototype something, we do it because we like those project mode. That is for our students, for the teacher that comes to us, but also for us as well. So it just do something with what you learn, and just not stay with what you learn and keep it in your mind, and being only in theory. So we have a lot of things like I think Roxana said it earlier in this podcast, that we have a makerspace with a 3D printer, laser cutter, all those kind of tools that usually are in Fab Lab. We have them for training purposes here at Technobel, because we want people to have the right tools needed if they want to prototype. Arduino is part of those tools as well.
Yeah, you've been talking about now the Arduino projects and those kind of, we actually have some material from one of the projects that you built with your students. Roxana can share the video. We can first take a look at this video, and then you can explain a bit of what this project was about.
Yeah.
If we can see, if you want to try to put it full screen, or I don't know, wait, I'm gonna put it like this. So what is this project about?
So the project was about, with those lockdown and the end of lockdown rules, the number of people allowed in certain rooms was, downscaled. So people weren't allowed to go with 3 or 4 or 5 people in the same room. So what we did is we installed and prototyped people counter. So this is based on an Arduino Uno, and it is connected with 2 infrared sensors. And those sensor detects when someone get by or go off the room. So it tells people if they can go or not. So if they can go, there is the smile you see on the left, and if they can't, there is a cross that show you that you can't cross the door. So that was a fun way. We thought it would be fun because it's a geeky project. I will say that was fun for us to do that as colleagues and to share it with everyone. And that was a cool way to get back at Technobel. A fun way also to get back into our buildings, because I think it's cool to see that in our building. So yeah.
Yes, definitely. And you created this with your students as part of the training, or was it you?
That one was with my colleagues. So we did that
Okay.
between us. That also was some kind of team building activities between
Definitely.
colleagues. That also was a way to reconnect with each other, like in real life, because we hadn't seen each other for a few weeks. So this project was an occasion for us to get back together and with all safety distance, of course, and to build something and to do something that also is really that is something positive for us to do.
Yes,
And
definitely.
you're really proud at the end when you see the things, the actual things working. You love it. So it was not with our students, but it's also a way to show them that we are still doing things by yourself, and we are still about sharing. Because the Be a Maker project you asked before, I can summarize it with 4 words. That's you have to dream, you have to create, to try, and then you have to share what you do. So that is the words that we put at the heart of our job here at Technobel.
Yes, and we also share the GitHub the URL on our chat. So if people want to go and check it, so they can also do it. What about your trainings? How have you been impacted by COVID-19? Do you still have trainings?
We have restarted for now to have some in physical ways, but we needed to stop everything because here in Belgium we entered lockdown like pretty soon, I think, in this whole situation. So we had to stop getting people in our building. So we stopped training. We took some time, a few weeks to get back on our feet. The teams, my colleagues, did some amazing job getting everyone safe and back to normal as soon as they could. What we did for the teaching part of our activities is we started doing what you did also with those amazing episodes of Arduino EDUvision. So we started our own live channel as well.
Oh, how has that been?
It's been great so far. So we did 1 live a week. Now we are getting back to 1 live for 2 weeks because teachers got back to schools. But that was a way to keep talking with our audiences, and what we wanted to do is manipulate, because really the one thing that missed us so much was doing things and manipulating. Because of course with technologies you can do a lot of theory if you want. If you want, you can share a lot of things, like just doing through PowerPoint presentation. You can do that. That is super easy to do. But we did not wanted that. We wanted to give people some entertainment and and share what we did and try and prototype. So we did some live prototype. We did a soap dispenser, for example, an automatic soap dispenser. That was really fun. We did some robots also, so we did a lot of things. And the idea is we go live 1 hour a week or two, or each 2 weeks. We have people engaging with us, like, you know what it is. You're doing it really, really awesomely here in Belgium. So, so you know what it is to do that.
Yeah, it's the live experience of prototyping. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
That's really nice. There's also a question from the audience. Does Technobel has any online courses for teachers outside Belgium?
Unfortunately not, because we are mainly public. We are public-private partnership, but so we are engaged to train people in our country. So we do not offer online courses. I'm really sorry for that, but we are always open to share with people everything. So if you want something from us, an information or share a project or get us to speak together, like remotely, like we do right now, please feel free to contact us. We will be really, really happy to get some chat with you.
Yeah, and whoever can, of course, watch your live from wherever you are. So, for example, if you want to take part in those. In the article, you also mentioned your plans about this thing, Arduino Hub. Do you want to explain that?
We are really excited about that. So what we would like to do in Belgium is the first one, I think, even in Europe. So we would like to have a place within our building that would be a central place for people to get trained and to discover Arduino education and Arduino in general. So we would like to train people with the Arduino education kit, like the CTC Go, the Motion kit, for example. I could name a few, but we will start from there. Train teachers, show them how a lesson works. So all we works already is that we get teacher coming with us for 1 day, and we train them for the day, and we just have them try the lesson we want them to do in their classroom later. So we just want them to feel comfortable with what they will be working with. So we want to do that with Arduino education. We will train teachers. We will have a place for prototyping. We already have that, but we are structuring that more in detail. And the last thing we would like to have is that you guys at Arduino Education developed the Arduino certification, and we would like to give courses, like a few days of courses for students between 15 and 18, and then have them run this Arduino certification. So we want to once again empower people to use technologies in their classroom and lead them for that, and just reassure them, show them how it can work in a classroom, help them with materials management tips, because I think it's often something that could be impressing when you don't know what you're stepping into. So this is it, the Arduino Hub project, and we are really, really excited by it.
Yeah, it sounds like a perfect starting point, like, because if you're thinking like, yeah, I would like to have technology in my classroom, or I would like to learn a bit about Arduino, how I can use it, but you can start from so many different ways. So this is a perfect way for a teacher to then join you guys, and you help them to get started and have the introduction to different things that they can do.
Yeah, and I think the lessons for example in CTC Go, I know them well now. Those lessons are pretty going forward. So the one thing we have to do is just get people to try it with us, because if they have some things that goes wrong, we can always help them. The troubleshooting part of Arduino, the Arduino platform is also really concrete. So we want to reassure people and then have them run these lessons in their own classroom. That's what we like to do. We don't like taking someone else's class and doing the job for them, because we think it's more important to train them to do that by themselves with their own means and their own methodologies than try to replace them. That's more interesting, I think.
Yeah, that sounds really nice. I would like to ask you if you have any tips for teachers who are kind of interested to start with making or adding more technology into their what subject they're teaching. But do you have any tips for them?
Well, the first thing you have to do is do it. You have to try, you have to give it a try. Like, for the most part, you won't risk anything too big. Maybe you will burn a board or something, but that's no big deal. I think we all went through that, and we will go through that as well later on, because that's what prototyping is about. So you mess with things, and that's not a big deal at all. So you have to trust yourself. You also have, I think, as a teacher, to trust the students you are working with, because they know a lot of things and they can help you and you can evolve together. That's not a big deal to have a student explaining to you something. That is just great. That is how it should work. And that is the proof that you are still learning as well. So if you want students to learn, please feel free to learn as well and to be confident in that learning path. You have to tell your student you are learning with them. That's not a big deal. So I think the first thing is you have to do things. The second thing, you have to trust your students, and I also think you have to get yourself into projects and into communities, because there are a lot of people out there, even when you are in a foreign countries, that can reach out to you and help you, and there are a lot of awesome people all over the world that will try to help you the best they could. So I think you have to do that. You have to share with other people.
Yeah, I think also like this time has taught us that it's actually easy to connect with people from all over the world and share your experiences and learn from each other and have the community, or have your own kind of maker colleagues, and you can have your own troubleshooting together, or even like share from different subjects. Teachers can share their experiences and have tips for each other. So how they would use Arduino to teach, for example, history or arts. Should be inspired from each other's.
You just have to avoid one trap, is to go on Twitter and search for Arduino project, because you will spend a lot of hours just looking all those awesome projects that people do. That is such a waste of time looking at it all.
Yeah, you should start with creating those projects, not just looking at them. Yeah,
that's true.
Definitely. There's one question from the audience. Let's see if I can get it visible here. For younger students, 8 to 10 years old, what do you think about using Tinkercad circuits for Arduino, or would it be better to start them with the Arduino IDE? Do you have any?
Well, I always answer for that kind of question. It really depends on the students. The advantage of having such as choices in tools is that you can choose the tools that you think fits better the students that are in front of you. So maybe some students in your classroom will be easy with one of the two, and maybe the other part will be better with the Arduino IDE, for example, because it's fun for them to do as well. So I think it depends of the kids. Are those kids already used to code? Are those kids have them built some robots before, for example? Have them developed some skills in coding, earlier in their scholarity? So that is the question I would ask, and then choose a tool in function of that, I think.
Yeah, it's more about the kind of the background or the experience than the age itself also. Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, our time's up, so I need to thank you, but it was really interesting, and everyone who's watching this, you can go and read the article from our remote learning site. There's more, and in our comment section or the chat, we have shared the GitHub link, and then of course go visit Technobel if you want to learn more about them. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. See you soon.
See you. Bye. Okay. Welcome, Therese and Roxana.
Thanks. Thanks to Anthony. Yes.
So for all teachers in Belgium, you know where to go.
Yeah, this was a great tip for them, definitely.
And it's really great that he shared his GitHub account, because that project is really nice. So everyone can go there and check the code. So it's really cool.
Yeah, and then check the lives that Anthony has if you want to live prototype together with him.
Yeah, they have a YouTube channel. Just type Technobel and you will find some sessions there.
Yes. But now I think it's Therese, your turn. Present the results.
So as I mentioned earlier, last week we had a session where you guys could vote for what you wanted us to do in this session. And now I have the results. And the winner is bloopers from the Starter Kit tutorials. So if you haven't been watching these episodes, we've been talking about something called Starter Kit tutorials, and those are tutorials videos that we've been making for the Arduino Starter Kits to help you guys create the project. But this hasn't been super easy. I mean, there have been some funny moments that we would like to share with you. So, but also a note: this is just the first part we're going to show. So we're going to show you the first part of the bloopers, and hang in to see the rest later in this episode.
Cool.
Yes, I can share my screen.
Yep.
To show the first part of the bloopers. Even though we write the scripts, we should know what we're talking about. Sometimes you have these blank moments.
It is not
Let's
easy.
see. Tell me, put your thumbs up if you can hear the sound then.
Yes.
No. The videos will include, what the videos will include.
Welcome to your first lesson with Arduino Starter Kit. How can I forget that? We're also not going to use any sketches yet. Was that what I was supposed to say?
It might be a good time to learn new skills or brush up on existing ones.
And today we're going to build project 3 from the project book. The project... Oh, okay, why is this so difficult?
In this video, we will guide you on how to purchase your Arduino.
Check out our new tutorial video for blah. On Thursday, Arduino EDUvision.
Arduino certification. ¡Qué idiota! ¿No? Es de Arduino fundamentales.
So that was
nice.
Yeah, that was
That's so much fun.
I'm kind of looking forward to the Arduino EDUvision. We should definitely have that too.
Yeah, I mean, Arduino EDUvision for so many takes. Like, you can't even remember. It was like more than 3.
Yeah.
And also there was a clip in the beginning, which might have been seen a bit out of context. Was when we were practicing before the first episode, we were doing a practice round, and I was just doing the setup, and I was kind of doing like this, and I actually got electrocuted by my webcam. Careful, guys. I don't know if it has to do with the carpet in this floor, but yeah.
Who knows? But it was fun. Teresa, I'm sorry.
It's dangerous to do lives.
It was so cool. But this is then just the first part, right?
Yeah, there's another part too after.
Yes. Moments.
Nice.
Yeah. Let me see. Moving on.
We can first tell us a bit about this week's the Starter Kit tutorial that we have. We posted it today.
Exactly. The bloopers were from the tutorials that we're making and posting on YouTube every week. This week, or today, we just released the tutorial for project, I think it's number 11. Anyway, Crystal Ball, and I have it here with me actually. Let me see if I can just plug it in. So, yep, it works. Crystal Ball is this kind of randomizer. It looks like this, and I don't know if you remember when you were younger, there was this toy that you could ask the crystal ball what will happen, and then you get an answer, or even, you know, the magic crystal balls. We had made our own version. There is supposed to be like a tilt switch here instead, but I put a normal button because I couldn't find a tilt switch. But you're supposed to like shake it and ask a question, you get an answer. So I can try like, crystal ball, will it rain tomorrow? And then it will give us the answer. No!
I love that!
Exactly. It's like the magic 8-ball, as someone is saying in the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
So that's
the crystal ball knows.
Yeah, it knows.
So focus on using an LCD display together with your Arduino and learn how to connect all of the different pins that does different things. So, and also how to send your messages, and you will also learn about the random function. This is the random function. When I press here, there will be different messages. Now it says
Yeah, I think, yeah, there's I don't know, I don't remember if it's 7 different things, for example, that we have in this project that you can print, but you can have as many as you want.
Exactly. So you can set the results yourself depending on what you want to display.
Exactly. And if you remember, we used this screen some episodes ago. We created our own time management projects using this screen. And then also in the previous live episode, one of our guests, Kat, he shared the idea that he used it as a karaoke machine. So you can see.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Yeah, someone asked students English or something, so it was really nice.
Yeah. If there is a tutorial about the crystal ball, and yes, so if you go to the YouTube channel for Arduino, it's this YouTube channel, the Arduino YouTube channel. Probably the most recent video will be, or go to arduino.cc/learning. It's on many places, and we release.
Yeah, I can actually show here. I can add
Yes.
it. So here is the remote learning site, arduino.cc/remote learning, and you can see all the starter kit tutorials here. Here's the project 11 for the crystal ball, and you can here find all the previous ones. And we're gonna have 4 more projects. So every week we're going to publish 1 project. So next week it's going to be project 12, the knock clock that we already mentioned.
Ooh, exactly.
And here also in the articles section, there was the article that I mentioned, projects for managing time when studying from home. If you want to get inspiration for your projects, so here's the 2 projects that we used LCD screen to. I think I created the one that you get random exercises that you need to do to make you kind of move, and Rox had a project for time management.
Yeah.
And also here the articles, the one that I mentioned for Anthony, it's an educator's perspective, the importance of learning new technologies, where we interviewed Anthony Jacques, our today's guest. And then we have another article about how do we prepare for back to school during a pandemic. So go to the arduino.cc/remote learning after this live.
Definitely.
So let us know if you have made any of the projects from the starter kit. The starter kit has been out for a while, so we know that many of you have made the project. So let us know which one is your favorite. Do you have any feedback, or was it fun?
Exactly.
Yeah, and actually we got some comments through YouTube, or there were some questions.
Yeah, exactly. So in the YouTube videos, we also saw that you were commenting. Maybe people are having issues. So I was actually gonna address some of them now because I just had the chance to talk to you guys. Let's see, a few weeks ago, we posted this video about the motorized pinwheels. I can't really play it now because my internet doesn't allow it, but we had some comments. Karen, for example, was asking, I have a problem. When the motor is on, the controller resets. And for that, I would probably say that you need to be careful with the DC motor. It needs to be powered externally, which we're also showing here in this video. So it needs power from a battery. So don't power it through the board, which you would do with the other components. You can power through the board. But with the DC motor, power it through the battery. Otherwise, the controller might reset because it's not getting enough power, as Karen's mentioning. So I'm guessing that's the problem. Karen, try that. Fahim is asking, can I use a L293D motor driver to run DC motor in my own personalized project without using a diode? So if you haven't watched this video, I'm saying that you need to use a diode with the DC motor, because when you're using a DC motor, there's something called back voltage that can come from the motor, which is like a current going in the wrong direction, and it can destroy the rest of the circuit. So that's why we're putting a diode in the opposite direction. So that will like take all of that back voltage. But you can also use a motor driver, this particular motor driver, instead of using a diode, because that motor driver has the diodes and the transistors inside, and the starter kit actually also comes with that motor driver. Just we're calling it H-bridge because H-bridge is kind of a circuit. It's a type of circuit that's inside the motor driver. So if you're having an external motor driver, you probably don't need the diode, but be sure to check out the data sheet of whatever motor driver you have. So everyone can use this comments field on the videos to help each other. It's like we might not always have the chance to answer you, but you can help each other. Also use the forum. So it's a great chance to get tips and tricks for the starter kit videos.
Yes, definitely. You can use it to troubleshoot together. I recommend. Talking about the H-bridge, we can check the bloopers part 2. It's a really hard word for me.
Yeah.
Difficult to say. I can. Let's see it.
All right.
Yes.
So, like I said, even if you remember the script, it can be just difficult to speak.
Hello. Now we can connect the board and upload.
In this project, we will need a new component, an H-bridge. Watch our latest tutorial with Crystal ball. Should I have dinner for ice cream tonight? What? It's a ladder, which you can see a schematic of on page. Today we are using to
locally support you. And
guarantee. There are a few terms that you need to be familiar with. I don't know why it's so difficult now.
Students will learn about pause. Yeah, just got it and edit it. Start again. Today you have heard some new words and terms that you might not be familiar with before. Let's take this again. I don't use the potentiometer or tilt switch before. We got project 5 and 8. 5 and 6 now. Check out tutorial for project 5 and 6. No, not 5 and 6. 8. No.
Check out the tutorials for project 5 and 8 and the project book. And then, what am I supposed to say then?
Oh my God.
You're focusing so much on the one sentence and then you forget completely what comes after.
The worst part is like you come to and we're shooting and we know everything, and when you're just in front of the camera, you just got blank.
Yeah.
Aye.
Pretty much like
You
that.
believe that we're the people writing these scripts ourselves and we cannot do it.
And I especially like the part when that has like, she's like, am I supposed to say that? It's like, yeah, you wrote it yourself.
Yeah. Oh, I'm really glad that we're the three of us together doing this. Oh.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
True.
And this was the censored kind of version, so there's some first
the
words
light version.
they're not in this one.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right. So that was one of the things that you requested that we would do in this last episode. But before that poll, we also had another poll where we asked you what you liked the most about this season in general. So let's take a look at those results.
Yes.
Let me see. Yep. Maybe.
Dun, dun, dun. A little bit of suspense.
Suspense, but I think it's ready now. Yep. So this is the first poll that we have in the previous episode, and we asked you, what did you like the most about the season? And you answered.
Dun, dun, dun.
Actually, quite a lot, but most of them these students showing their own projects.
Yeah.
And this little image here, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like it's a cutout from when one of our Danish students showed his project. He was kind of doing this like home automation, but mechanically instead of using IoT or anything. He was connecting a servo to his lamp switch, and then that servo he could control using the board. So it was really nice.
Yeah.
What if we look at?
Yeah, I can show a clip from that episode, from the episode number 2. If you want to see the whole episode, you can of course check it. But I have a clip from there.
Yeah, we can maybe watch a bit from the interview. How do you feel studying and learning at home? How has this period been for you both?
Well, I think it's been actually more easy than I thought it would be. Like also the way Isaac has like set up the camera, so we can easily see the boards on the table and how we should connect all the things, and also just like the fact that everyone has the same thing and we get these kits, so it's really easy to just sit down at your desk and then start tinkering.
Nice.
That was super nice. If you want to watch the whole episode, as Melissa said, I think it's episode number 2. And we will also see that students showing their projects in that episode. It's also in our YouTube channel.
Yeah, and yeah, the students also present their projects, so you can see what they built and how they did that. They share their experience. Also, how was it like learn remotely, and how did everything. So there's a lot of good tips for teachers too. But teachers explain how they did.
Yeah.
But I think Roxana, you also collected some numbers from our live shows.
True. I'm going to
I
share
can't
that
believe
with
this
you.
is the last episode.
Yeah.
Me neither. So we have this. We want to show you some numbers.
Yeah,
As
and
Therese mentioned. Yes.
Before Rox,
Yes,
I would
before.
say like if you have some memories or some favorite parts that you have, share them in the comments so we can read them after this presentation. Yeah, go ahead.
Sure, thanks. So as Therese was mentioning at the beginning of the episode, these live sessions are part from the Arduino initiative to support teachers, students, and parents. So we're super happy to share with you the results. So we have 10 episodes for season 1, and we have over 60,000 views YouTube and Facebook. So that's really nice. So hopefully you can find some, or you could find some inspiration out of these episodes. We hope, because that's our goal. So thank you so much, everyone that watched the episodes.
Yes, and you can find all the episodes there on YouTube, on our channel. Facebook has some of them, but we didn't have live on Facebook every time.
Yeah, exactly. On the playlist, YouTube Arduino EDUvision, you can find the whole playlist.
Yeah.
Then we have 23 guests from 10 different countries, 3 different continents. So here are the pictures of all of them. We have students, teachers, parents, and makers from Denmark, United States, Sweden, Italy, Spain, Colombia, Canada, Mozambique, France, and Belgium. So again, this was super cool, knowing about different points of view, different knowledge from people from all around the world. So it's really cool. Also, thanks to all of our guests that came and share what they know. Really cool.
Yeah, it was really interesting to hear.
Yeah. And also, we shared 22 projects, so you can see also some, all of them actually. Some of them were using the starter kit. So also it was really nice to see students, as you also voted for that, how they use Arduino and build their projects. I think the youngest student we had showing project, it was like a 12-year-old. So it was really nice to see that.
Yeah. Oh, I think all these are probably made with the starter kits.
Yeah, I think so.
Super nice.
Yeah, based on the starter kit project or the components.
Yeah, true. So that was also super nice that you shared, and we saw what you can do with Arduino.
Yeah, it's nice
Also,
to see how the starter kit, you can use it for multiple different things.
Yeah, exactly. It's super versatile.
Yeah.
And then we have on the remote learning site, we published 24 articles about different topics, remote learning. We mainly talk about, not mainly, but we refer to these tools that we recommend, which are the student kit, the starter kit, and also the certification. And we have all of our guests' interviews there, so you can go read them. And also we have tips and tricks to learn and studying from home. So you can check this out whenever you want. And also, we had 9 quizzes and 2 polls, and we have over 220 players doing the quizzes. So I think this is one of my favorite parts of the show, the quizzes. And it's really nice to see how you all like really paid attention. So we love that. So thank you for this, for joining the live, for participating in the quizzes, for making your questions to our guests. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And
Thank you.
talking about quiz, it's time for our final quiz.
Yay! Take your
For you
I
who
love
haven't,
quizzes.
yeah, so take your phone, and for you guys who haven't been a part of these sessions before, I usually host a quiz, but at the end to test you on your skills in electronics and programming, but also to see if you've listened throughout this whole episode. So this will be the final one. Grab your phone, go to menti.com, and join this quiz with the code 4049 and 85. And when you're participating, it will also be visible here. And I can also mention why I've been using quizzes, and it's mostly to show you how you can quiz your students from home or remotely. So if you're a teacher, you can use these kind of tools to, it's like a fun way to quiz your students. It's not really like to see if someone passes or fails, but it's a great tool to send different questions and have live. You can use Zoom with this, for example, or Google Hangouts, or it doesn't have to be like a stream. So that's super nice.
For sure.
I'll wait for a little while so that you all have the chance to get your phone and join. And in this quiz, I will test you on different things from this whole season. So it'll be like a little throwback, and I'll use some of the questions that we have had before. So if you've been a part of this, you should know the answers.
This is a real test for me and Rox.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can barely remember what I did yesterday. But
In
Yeah, we
episode
don't even remember our own script sometimes.
You remember this? This is episode 2, and we had just launched the student kit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Let's see if we have any players.
let's see.
We got a bunch of players. That's nice. And
Okay,
if you're
I'm ready.
watching this, I can also, once again about the delay. So there's this broadcast delay. So I'll try to read the question, wait for about 10 seconds, and then I press the slide so that you guys on your phone have the right timing. And if you watch this afterwards, there might be a weird synchronization as well. But let's see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's so fun that you can pick your own
Like an
emoji.
avatar.
Icon. Oh yeah, I've never done these myself, so I don't know if you get to choose. I tested.
No, it's like a random pick for you.
Oh, cool.
But you
That's
can write your name,
Okay.
well, or whatever name you want. So that's cool.
The first question is, remember that I showed you a previous slide from episode 2 before? There was this little tool. So Student Kits comes with a measuring device to learn measuring different electrical measurements. And what is the name of this device? You just saw it in the previous slide. Vote on your phones.
Mm-hmm. And Student Kit is, for people who haven't watched this show before, is our kit for homeschooling that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So
It has an online platform with 9 lessons and 2 open-ended projects. So a lot of content for your students.
Tan, tan, tan.
da, 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 da.
This one we
You
don't
need to
have.
be-
The
you
starter
need to
kit.
be fast.
Yeah. The one who answers fastest gets most points, if
Exactly.
the answer is correct, of course.
Oh, the answer is multimeter, and I can see that most of you knew this one.
Cool.
We've been talking about this quite a lot in the previous episodes as well. Let's see if we move on. In episode number 3, we were showing you a demo of one of the lessons in the student kits, and I was doing this project called Light Wave Radar, I think.
Yes.
And it's like a little project where you use a light sensor on a servo to detect the lights around you. So this is one of the lessons inside the student kit. And when you were detecting the light, you can also visualize them inside the Arduino IDE. So my question, of course, is, What is the name of the tool in the Arduino IDE used to display graphs and data?
Ho-ho.
Woohoo.
I like that. Here it comes. Answer fast.
Yeah. That's what, this one did it.
Yeah, that's the graph.
Mhm. This can be a bit tricky if you.
Yeah, but they can guess.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be right. Let's see. Let's see.
Difficult. I think
Oh.
Nice.
I think the results now in this episode overall is actually better than when we had these questions the first time. So
True.
Some people have learned. That's nice.
Good.
And in episode number 4, we started to talk about something called Arduino certification exam. So there is an exam, as you know, maybe Rox, you can give a short.
Yeah,
about
so
fundamentals.
we have the Arduino certification program, and the first level, it calls the Arduino Fundamental Certification, which is an online exam based on the concepts introduced in the starter kit.
Exactly.
So, yes.
And that's why in this episode now, or in the episode 4, we actually had a question that I took from the fundamentals exam to test you, to see if you were ready to take this exam or not. So here comes this question again, a small version of a question inside the Arduino certification exam.
Nice.
Yeah, and this exam is now available in multiple languages.
Yes, English, Spanish, Chinese, Greek, German.
Nice, nice. The question is, which of these buttons will turn on the LED? So look at your phone to see which of these buttons will turn on the LED.
And if you
There are
want to
two
try, if you want to try out them before taking the actual exam or them trying out, there's a demo, and that demo is also available in different languages, so you can try
Sure.
out if you feel confident enough to take the actual exam.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And going through the project in starter kit prepares you really well for this exam.
Mhm.
So.
Oof.
There's a silent moment. We're thinking.
Yeah,
Silent
like,
moment when everyone tries to find the right circuits. What is the difference between A and B? It's a kind of a tricky one.
yeah, that one is tricky.
So this is like the type of question that you could encounter inside the certification exam in fundamentals.
Dun, 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 dun. Moment of truth.
The right answer is A.
A.
And if you looked really closely, you can see that the difference was that the two LEDs were not in the right direction. So an LED is a polarized component, and the current needs to go inside it in the right direction. So there is usually like a long leg and a short leg, or one of the sides is a bit flat. So you need to make sure that you put the short leg to ground and the long leg to power. So in the B circuit, the LED was flipped in the wrong direction. Tricky.
Tricky one.
Yeah.
That's a tricky one. We have a leaderboard, so we're just halfway through, or a bit more than halfway through, but we can see how the score is so far. We still have 2 questions left. Mario!
It's the fastest.
First one. And pretty tightly followed by Maharu.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have some more contestants. You still have the chance because we have more questions to go.
Yeah, it's our chance to beat Mario.
Yes. Melissa and Rox, I expected you to have higher points.
Yeah, I'm not even in the top 10. But hey, I won one time. So
That's
I
true.
remember. I'm not going to forget that. So in the 5th episode, or it was the 6th episode, but episode number 5, we were showing you that we had released the tutorial videos for the 7th project in the starter kit, which is called Keyboard Instruments. Previously, we had also released Light Theremin, and both of them are musical instruments that uses a piezo, which is the round thing that you can see here. It's a small speaker. And my question is, which is the function to stop a sound produced by the tone function? And the tone function is a function from the tone library that you can just add to your projects, and it makes the piezo play different tones. So what is the name of the function to stop the tone, the sound that's playing from the tone library? Answer on your phone.
I love these. Like you have these screenshots and all our faces always like
Yeah.
random moments. But also we're using the piezo in a different way in the next week's tutorial.
Piezo is not only a speaker; it can also be something else, a
Yes.
vibration detector. So let's see if you know the answer to which function, or what is the name of the function that stops the sound when you play a sound in a tone function. Ooh,
No tone.
it's no tone. Exactly. That's the name of the function. It's a bit tricky because
It is.
it's just a name. But if you have used the tone library, you know this one. Right. And a few episodes ago, episode 7, we showed you a project called Motorized Pinwheel, which is, I think, project number 9, could it be, from the project book? And yeah, it was the one that I showed you about the troubleshooting before. So the question that we had here is, why is a diode needed when using a DC motor in a circuit with other components? And I actually told you about this.
Yes, exactly.
few
You
minutes
just told
ago.
that.
So let's see. Yeah, I also like this screenshot. Actually,
Yeah, I like this.
I had another screenshot for this, but then Melissa, you were doing a really funny face, and I was like, I'm going to take it. So
Maybe you should have
5 seconds.
Yeah, after the bloopers.
Yeah, I want to see that one too.
Yeah,
But yeah, it looks like almost you're like having something. I first thought that you have like put something in front of your face or you have something there. But no, it was just the project itself.
Yeah.
Yes, now if you listen today, you should know this.
Exactly. 2, 1.
Was this the last question?
This is the last question.
Oh,
The answer is to lead away back voltage. As I mentioned before, when you're using a DC motor, it can generate something called back voltage or back EMF that can destroy your circuits because the current goes in the wrong direction. So let's see. I think we have a winner.
I'm pretty confident now. Top 10, top 10.
Oh,
Nuno.
Mario. Whoa, it's Maro! Congratulations.
The last quiz winner.
We also had Mark and Mario. See Nuno.
Very close.
And I made it to top 10. The most important.
You did. Nice. Yeah, I can see. Congratulations. Winner of the
Yay.
final quiz. Nice.
Thank you.
Wow.
Is this
Thank
it?
you. No.
Yes.
This is if you want to continue discussion, you can do it on our forum. You can of course continue sharing your projects on social media and visit our remote learning site. Like we said, we're going to still keep on posting the new tutorials for certificate projects. And of course, there's a lot of articles. And you can use the contact form also on the arduino.cc/remote learning. So if you want to ask something from us, or if you have some ideas what you would like to see on the next season, and I think we could take one question that came through that contact form.
Oh yeah, there was someone asking if we had how they could learn IoT, which is Internet of Things. So
yes,
how can people learn IoT with Arduino?
Yeah, and for that we have the answer is that we're working now with an education kit to learn about IoT, and we will tell more about that in the next season of Arduino EDUvision. So see you after summer.
Thank you,
Season 2.
Thank you for joining. Thank you, Teres, Melissa. See you soon.
Thank you, Rox.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.